अस्सलामुअलैकुम गाइस, वेलकम बैक टू द चैनल, वेलकम बैक टू आवर न्यू ब्लॉग। जैसे कि आप पहले वाले ब्लॉग्स में देख रहे हैं कि जो भी अपडेट हो रही है वो आप हर ब्लॉग में देख रहे हैं। इस ब्लॉग में हम जो है वो मैकेनिकली जितना भी काम है वो कंप्लीट कर लेंगे इंशाल्लाह। और नासिर को तो आप देख ही रहे हैं जिस तरह वो हमारे साथ अटैच है, काम कर रहे हैं, बहुत चीज़ें हमें सीखने को मिल रही हैं। तो होपफुली इस ब्लॉग में मैकेनिकल काम कंप्लीट हो जाएगा और नेक्स्ट ब्लॉग में जब हम मूव करेंगे तो इंशाल्लाह फिर हम इसके सस्पेंशन पे, इसके कॉइल ओवर सेटअप पे और इस हर चीज़ पे डिटेल में एक ब्लॉग करेंगे और उसमें भी आपको अपने साथ रखेंगे। तो टिल देन अभी आप देखें इस ब्लॉग में आगे क्या होता है।
Okay. Done. No, not done.
गजब बेइज्जती है।
Then use this electric water pump. Electric. Okay. So you go inside, put it. Go inside. Oh, yeah. But, must mean all of the weight, most of it is on that side. Good. The important thing is the top, nothing is sharp, so we don't cut into the lines or anything. With a fast intake, PRC heads, cam, short travel lifters, BSR, rocker arms, okay, and then an Williams 108, 102 throttle intake from fast, Siki direct swap kit, TR6060 transmission, and then we basically did the fuel rails basically looping around with 1T in the back. It's a returnless fuel system. This line is the aqua sump line, so it goes inside to this check valve, just like my car. So there's the radiator that I custom made in UAE. This thing is actually a very, very nice unit. I'm actually running the same radiator now on my new S13, with the exception of just the fitting locations on his car. Since it's a right-hand drive, it's a little bit different because again, it's a right-hand drive. Our cars are left-hand drive. Anyways, dual spa fans, very nice unit. Everything is airtight, so we'll be pulling as much air as the fans can pull only through the fins. And then just a simple overflow tank over here mounted up nicely. The rad's gonna be pulling air from the top. You guys asked me this question in the past, why do I mount them up straight? It's because if you crash, you want that crash zone, you know? So you don't want to tilt it back and then going straight into the radiator, especially not Adeel because he cannot get this here. We're gonna have to get it in from UAE, you know? So that's why we try to increase as much as we can of crash zone. Anyways, yeah, so that's it. All the plumbing work is done. The only things left are the main fuel line, water lines. So on this car, and tomorrow morning, Zafar, I'm telling you guys, I need the lower arm and I need that neck.
Yeah.
I need the lower arm done and I need the neck because I need to put the car down on its weight, push it forward and back.
Okay.
Reset the coilovers. I have to adjust the coilovers completely. It's a process that will take time, depending on how fucked up the process was when you installed. So I'll just measure the droop, all of that, make sure the right height is correct. Do an initial alignment and then we take it to the alignment shop. We get the final alignment done. Okay. So obviously, most of these things we can do it while we're waiting the electrician because I don't think he's gonna come early. When the electrician comes, we connect the main power.
Okay.
we can start it up, just make sure everything's fine. Then we shut it off. Try not to leave it on for a long time because I don't know what tune is on it right now.
Okay.
If we go into any shit, I think I can call Ziad just so that I just tell him just checking it, like just to turn it on. We're not gonna rev it or anything.
Okay.
If he accepts, you know. Other than that, right now the only thing left for me to do is just the water lines from the radiator coming up here.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, but we're not gonna do the final connection.
Yeah.
The connection. The mechanic is gonna take it to the machine shop in the morning because we don't have a vice here. So this is very hard to type.
Okay.
We need a vice. So right now we're here. You see, this is your aqua sump line.
Okay.
It goes down to the fitting. Everything is mounted in place. You have the line going to the oil cooler feed return. Then this is your fuel line. It's one fuel line coming into your rail over here around. Okay, and then you have the two lines. Let me turn on the light. Okay, so
Yeah.
yeah, the two lines. You have one is oil, the silver one, and one is fuel, the black one.
Okay. Okay.
They run next to each other. They come up here to the aqua sump valve. This is where you turn it on
Okay.
and off. Goes up. One goes to the aqua sump. I'll show you on the back. One goes to the fuel system.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll show you it in the back. This is mounted solid in place. Your transmission now is mounted to the floor, solid.
Okay.
That's why it's really rigid. Okay, and then this is your fuel system here in the back.
Yeah.
Okay, everything is final installation. So
This is the fuel line.
this is the fuel line. So how your system is, this is the feed.
Okay.
So this is directly from the pump. Comes
Okay.
out, comes into the regulator.
Regulator. Okay.
The extra goes back through the return into the surge tank. This is the
Okay.
return. And the one that goes to the engine goes from here. You adjust your fuel pressure regulator from here.
Okay.
Now Ziad, when he does the wiring for you, tomorrow I will take the measurement. We will decide tomorrow where the fuse box sits, where all of that is. And then I take the measurement to this. So over here, we remove the gauge and we put a fuel pressure sensor. This way Ziad, when he's tuning in the future,
Okay.
he can see this. He'll call you, he'll be with you on the phone, he'll tell you, I want more fuel pressure, I want
Okay.
less fuel pressure.
You will see in the laptop.
Yeah, he will see in the laptop.
Okay.
If there's anything wrong with the fuel system, he'll be able to tell.
Okay.
Your breather pipe is right over here. I told the guy he has to regularly check this and clean it and
Okay.
actually change it, not clean it.
Okay.
And then your aqua sump is right here. It's already pressurized with 10 psi, which is
Okay.
initially, I like to push it a little bit 12 because in heat they tend to go down a little bit.
Okay.
I mean in a cold weather. So
Okay.
the aqua sump is mounted here, permanent. The radiator is mounted permanent.
Okay.
I don't like the brackets, but this is what they did. Okay. Have the dual fans over here done. It opens.
Okay.
Opens and it allows the extra pressure to go out and into the tank.
Okay.
Okay. Usually people just dump the water on the floor. That's when you get your low coolant tablet. So we don't do that. What we do is we feed it into this tank
Okay.
and basically vacuum pulls the water back in when the car cools down.
Okay.
So you don't have to do anything. So just the first time after you fill up inside here, put little water. Only like this much. Not too much.
Half.
No, not half. Less. Quarter. Only quarter.
Quarter, okay.
Only quarter, because when it gets hot, the water will go inside. Okay? Things or whatever, or if the electrician came today and stuff, we can start the car now.
Yeah, Nasser, the problem is we have a Sunday.
I know.
Everything
I
is closed.
understand. But that's why tomorrow, okay,
Yeah.
fine. Tomorrow he can go do these things.
Yeah.
But like today, they came at 1. And even though they came at 1, they came empty-handed. So why did you come at 1? If you're gonna come empty-handed, everything is closed, then why did you come at 1? Come early.
Yeah. Exactly.
Half of the day is gone.
Yeah.
You know, so we're wasting the day. And for me, the day is the morning.
Yeah.
That's the important part. So anyways, tomorrow we have time to finish these things.
Okay.
It's not a problem. But tomorrow 100% will be done. But the only thing is the alignment. I don't know if we'll make it in time. If we don't make it in time, the next day we take it to the alignment.
Okay.
Because the important thing is the electrician comes, just temporarily connect these things so we can start. I take the measurements for the wiring, all of that. and we finish the water line so that mechanically I'm done with my work.
Okay.
The only thing that would be left is the alignment.
Alignment and electrician.
Yeah, and the alignment I don't like to rush it. So I'm
Yeah.
not gonna go at the end of the day because they're gonna close in an hour. I like to take my time because sometimes some stuff are just hard to get. That doesn't always work out. Sometimes it works out better.
Okay.
Sometimes not. So we still have to install tomorrow also the drive shaft and the differential and these. But technically we don't really have to because we're not gonna drive the car, you know. But might as well install it.
Okay.
The fuel tank, the stock fuel tank is out, so
Yeah.
there's no more stock fuel tank. Drift events, you get the coolant up to temp, back to temp, all of that, and then you open here once you're back, and you check, and the coolant level is good, and you close it,
Yeah.
and then 2, 3, 4, 5 months later, you open and the level is down, you have an issue with the engine.
Okay.
Because either you have an issue with the engine or there's a leak somewhere in the system.
Okay.
Because you have an expansion sorry, you have a recovery tank here.
Okay.
So when the system expands, if you go up to like 130, 120, this spring will open and it will let the water out into the tank. Once the car cools down, it's basically like vacuum.
Okay.
So what happens, the system inside, when it gets hot, it expands, right? And then when it cools down,
It shrinks.
it shrinks. So when it shrinks, it will push the spring up and pull that water back in.
Okay.
So you should never have air in your system.
Okay.
If there is air in the system, it means there's a leak somewhere.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay.
Always when you're checking, not you open, you find it's down till here, and you go like, okay, we'll put more and close, and that's it, you leave. No. Find out where the problem is.
Okay.
Figure out where is the problem. But this is obviously after going, as I told you, 3, 4, 5 drift nights,
Okay.
and the coolant is good. And then suddenly the coolant drops. There has to be a reason. Head gasket, coolant leak, fitting, something like that. You have to figure it out.
Okay.
Do not ignore it.
Yeah.
So make sure that the cooling system is always 100% correct and your
Okay.
fuel is 100% correct. And when you're putting the fuel into the tank, try to put clean fuel. I understand you're buying tank fuel from the gas station. At least make sure the drum is clean. And
Okay.
when you're removing this pump and putting it on the side or wherever, moving this around, make sure it's 100% clean.
Clean. Okay.
Monitor if anything, if the car cuts and stuff like that when he's tuning, if you find any issues when you're going on throttle and stuff like that, check the spark plugs. Now when you go to UAE, get the TR6. The TR7 will work, but they're very cold. So what do I mean by very cold? It means you have to have more compression in the engine, or
Okay.
if you're like boosted, you need to have more boost to ignite the plug.
Okay.
Okay, so the lower the number, the less heat you need for it to work.
Okay.
The higher the number, the more heat it
Okay.
needs. Okay, so right now TR7 is too much. I use TR7 on my car.
Okay.
For Ismail, in Pakistan, there are rev nuts. He laughed.
Yeah.
Okay, so I was like, but you're sure? So okay, fine. I showed you a picture. You told me okay.
Yeah.
The best scenario for you is buy the rev nuts because they're very useful for you in the future. When you come to UAE, buy the tool and buy the rev nuts. Buy a huge pack. Buy the tool. Number one, if you do not use it to bolt on the body kit, what are you gonna do? Every time you remove it, you're gonna drill out the revet. You will fuck the body kit.
Yeah.
So you're just unscrew it. So you need the rev nut. Number two, anytime you want to attach something like over here or over here or over here, but there's no hole, you drill, you put a rev nut.
Okay.
You know, you don't have to get the welder to weld it from inside and stuff. They're very useful. I mount everything with rev nuts, everything.
I know what you're talking about.
No, you don't know what I'm talking about. It's not the same tool. Listen, this tool is like 8 dirhams and this tool is like 300 dirhams. They're not the same
Okay.
at all. They're not related. What you're doing is you're putting something in a hole.
Yeah, and it
That's-
pulls it back out and it. tightens
Exactly.
it
So you
back.
have to. So you have to use a thread puller.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
It's a different tool. If you want to get a good one, that will not.
और इट गाइज हम लोगों ने आज जो अल्हम्दुलिल्लाह जो जो काम कंप्लीट कर लिए उनमें से एक ये है कि अल्हम्दुलिल्लाह इंजन माउंट हो गया, ट्रांसमिशन माउंट हो गया है, और उसके बाद हमने जो इसमें और इसकी जितनी भी फ्यूल सिस्टम था रेयर एंड पे करना था वो, प्लस जो वाटर टैंक है इसका, रेडिएटर सिस्टम जो हमने पीछे करना था, जो पीछे से बॉडी कट करनी थी, जो भी सब था फिटिंग्स के हिसाब से वो सब कंप्लीट हो चुका है। और होपफुली इंशाल्लाह अभी उम्मीद है कि कल जो इसके थोड़े माइनर काम है वो करके तो हम गाड़ी के टायर्स वगैरह और इसका बेसिकली जो नेक्स्ट डे अब कल जो काम है वो उसमें से जो सबसे इम्पोर्टेंट वो ये है कि कॉयल ओवर्स की एडजस्टमेंट और वॉइस पाइप की एडजस्टमेंट है, देन टायर्स वगैरह लगा के गाड़ी को नीचे उतारेंगे, और जो छोटे से माइनर काम है अंदर से कुछ पाइपिंग रह गई हैं, कुछ फिटिंग्स रह गई हैं, वो कंप्लीट करेंगे, और उसके बाद इस गाड़ी को हम फर्दर फेज़ में लेके जाएंगे, स्टार्ट करने के फेज़ में, बिकॉज अब हमें जो है कि इंतज़ार है वो सिर्फ इलेक्ट्रिशियन का है, वो आ जाए तो फिर हम इंशाल्लाह ये काम करेंगे।